A rivalry that started as an excuse to get to warmer weather in the winter has spawned decades of competition and tradition, and today, once again, these two will square off to find out who will take home the coveted Jewel Shillelagh. Notre Dame lining up to kick off and get this one started. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. So USC's offense will start this game off with the football. We're hoping for a little more drama than we got a season ago when the Trojans obliterated the Irish.
They absolutely laid the hammer. And the Trojans, listen, this is a team that you can count on every year now. They're starting to put their name in the hat. They've always had so much prestige, tradition. End of the year, these games, they matter. Can they deliver another statement game again this year?
I think the Trojans coaching staff last year did such a good job getting their team's minds right. And the leaders in that locker room, they were really making sure that everyone's intensity was at a different level going into that game. No doubt they want to come out, blow out Notre Dame again, and keep the Jewel Shillelagh in a trophy case.
It's hard to stop great runners. It really is. That's why you run the football consistently. You got a big offensive line, a big physical unit. You run the football like this, man, it will take a toll later, but you got to tackle this guy.
There he goes. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. The Trojans come to the line with a new set of downs. On the ground, it's Moore. They knock him down inside the 30 at the 29. It's a pickup of 6.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
This quarterback part of their running game. And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picked up the first down. For all of the star quality that USC has been built on, good offensive line, strong running game has always been a hallmark.
No doubt about it. I think they're built on, the passing game.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. Gets it into the end zone, but there's a flag down. We'll see if this one is coming back. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on the defense, declined, and the touchdown stands. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Notre Dame's offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. This wide receiver matchup is one that we've been waiting to see. You have 2 guys on either side, Jesse, who are really going to make the secondaries nervous.
Oh, they should, because these guys can take the top off of defense. You've got 2 very dynamic individuals playing on each offense. And if I'm playing quarterback in this game for either team, I am going to take my shots and give my guy an opportunity, because both of these guys, David, have proven they can make circus-level catches.
I mean, when they're not open, they're open. I mean, they can make the dynamic catches, the contested catches. They have the speed. They are 2 of the best playmakers in all of the country. So whenever an offense has the football today, you're going to like the show.
Guys, let's take a step back and talk about Notre Dame. It has been a season to forget, and honesty compels us to say changes are probably coming. Breaks into the open. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush.
Oh, what a play! It's intercepted. He'll try to take it back.
sets the tone early in this football game. We're still in the first quarter, and this is looking like they're putting a complete game together. Offense scoring, defense scoring. Palmer, they're up 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, you got to give this coaching staff credit. They have their guys ready to go, and this is what you call firing on all cylinders early in a game.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here come the Irish back on offense. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. The RPO, it's complete. Still on his feet at the 45. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line.
I'll tell you, this guy has to get touches early in games. They're doing a good job of that right now. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands. And I think if you're on offense...
Racing to the right. He's at the touchdown Irish. He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
And you see the option being such a pain in the behind of the best programs in college football. When you got quarterbacks that have those multiple options, they're making you play very disciplined, and the QB takes it himself, gets in for the score.
This rivalry nearly 100 years old now, guys, dating back to when Newt Rockne had made the Irish a power and Howard Jones had done the same for the Trojans.
So many names, and then if you go recent, I mean, everybody remembers the Bush push and just so many great games in this matchup. Every year it seems like the game means a lot, and obviously...
He lost one down the sideline. Makes a grab on the right. Open spaces. Touchdown, Southern Cal. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Quickly trailing by 2 touchdowns, down 21-7, and really important to get something out of this drive. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Fires to the middle. Got his man. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
Lost a throw on first down. Makes a grab over the middle. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. He'll do it himself. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. The snap sets up the throw. Safe completion on the screen. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. Notre Dame lines up quickly.
When offenses get first downs like this and they move the sticks and they get some momentum, look at what they do. They put their foot on the gas, run this no-huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, and try to capitalize.
A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame! They took a shot to the end zone and found 6 points waiting on them.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, the chemistry between these two guys has to be great.
This man does not look like your typical fighter. His name, Brandon Colantino. His nickname, the real-life Rocky. Sergio, does he remind you of Rocky Balboa?
No, he does not. But he does remind me of a character in Super Mario Brothers, Luigi. I mean, this is a man that very confident, very, he said all the right things, but he has a lot to prove because he lacks power, never been stopped. We'll see how he's going to be able to handle the big right hander from the Rocky and Joshua Edwards.
It's a decision win over Esra Lucifa. That was 4 weeks ago, and right back into the fray. By far the biggest test of his career is on the way.
With his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting his defense on the low roll.
And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25.
Well, there's the offense trying to take advantage of this running back speed. I like the hand off to the left, to the outside. Put him in space and let him go to work.
Pan American gold medalist back in 2023, 2024 Olympian, multi-time U.S. national champion. Sergio, how bright is the Rockets' future?
Very bright because he has footwork. And nowadays, since Usda came and slayed all the giants at 6'5", 6'6" plus, it was footwork that did it. So I think that's what Joshua Edwards brings. He's strong, great 1-2. You can tell why he was a successful amateur because he's accurate with the punches, but he does it all behind quick feet.
And he does it all behind knockout power. 5 wins, all 5 coming by KO.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal?
High stakes. Adios versus Garcia for the T-Mobile Arena. It is being brought to you by Ring Magazine, Sella, and Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions in association with TGB Promotions, along with their great sponsors, Thomas J. Henry Law Firm, Everlast, and IFX Payments. A big thanks to those great sponsors. We get things started with the big boys of boxing. 6-round schedule in the heavyweight division. The judges are Eric G, Lisa Chiampa, and John McCarthy. Our referee in charge will be Robert Hoyle. Entrance first, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with green and red and weighed in officially at 236 pounds. Coming to us from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, he brings a professional record of 7 wins, 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colin.
Coming up. And here comes the punt team. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon.
And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with red and blue and weighed in officially at 236.5 pounds. A 2024 U.S. Olympian. He is now undefeated as a professional with 5 wins. All 5 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, from the space city of Houston, Texas,
might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Just enough room to gain a couple down to the 34.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run.
Okay, whenever my instructions in the dressing room, all punches land here on the waistband are good. All punches land here on the waistband are good. Obey my commands, give me a good clean fight. Touch him up, scoot back.
Well, Sergio, we've been taught since we were little children, you do not judge a book by its cover. Right? But you look at the difference between Joshua Edwards and this man, Brandon Colantonio, and what do you see?
I'm going to judge him by his cover. Colantonio he's a slugger. You know, he relies on exchanges, big right hand, but not as good of a right hand as Joshua Edwards. I'm gonna say this fight won't last too long once Colantonio does get clipped by the better puncher.
But never underestimate the power of a mullet. And that's what this Canadian has here today. 6'4", about the same size.
Good check left hand there by Cole Antonio that barely came up missing. But that's what he's going to have to do, punch with the rocket. You don't want to wait and try to counter because you don't have speed on your side. So you're going to try to punch in between the shots and make this as ugly as possible if you're Cole Antonio.
Edwards already landed a right hand. And it's interesting. Edwards never makes eye contact with his chin.
And that's what I'm talking about. Very tough fighter. And Cole Antonio has never been stopped, but he also hasn't been hit by a real puncher like Edwards.
But look at Edwards' eyes. They focus on, it looks like the torso area of his opponents.
Because that's what he should be poking at. He should be jabbing down to the chest, the belly, to set up the big right hand.
This is the heavyweight division, though. One punch could change everything if Cole Antonio could, keep Edwards honest a little bit. No one's taking him past the third round.
Cole Antonio doesn't have the power to do that. In 7 wins, 1 knockout, and he doesn't have the explosive speed either.
Until you got an earful from the coach and cost your defense.
Well, Sergio, earlier we were debating whether this fight would make it to round 2. What do you think?
You know what? I still think once Edwards lands a really clean shot, he rolled with that first right hand. So right now, Cole Antonio is actually doing better than I expected at moving around the ring and not getting hit cleanly. But to answer your question, I'll be very surprised if he passes the second round.
Cole Antonio's switched southpaw there for a minute. Maybe he's got some skills you don't know, Sergio.
Oh, he'll be surprising me if he does. But look, other than durability, experience, and confidence, I haven't seen much.
Joshua Edwards, an American heavyweight prospect with real amateur pedigree, called the Rocket, from Space City, USA, Houston, Texas.
That's what Edwards needs to do right there. See how he threw that right hand downstairs? That's going to slowly lower the hands of Cole Antonio. Anytime you have an inexperienced fighter, he tries to dodge and parry punches with his hands. That's a big no-no.
Edwards looks just so nonchalant in there.
He's kind of we're not even through the first quarter. He has nothing to worry about. He's not focused with no worries for anything coming back.
Well, Cole Antonio, it appears, will make it to round 2.
From the gun, give on the inside. And he's able to pick up a few yards as we reach the end of the first quarter. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. The inside handoff. Spins away from the defender. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
There's that right hand shot. You can see that Cole Antonio tried to run with it, but he still got hit really cleanly. Can't be taking too many right hands from a right hand puncher like that.
Shoots it to the left.
Joshua Edwards looking to make it 6-0 with 6 knockouts. His last fight over Larry Gonzalez, he got a second-round KO. Excuse me, that was Zeno Boris. That was in round 3. Larry Gonzalez was his first ever opponent. That was in April last year, one of 5 fights he had in 2025.
I want to see Edwards put into another gear right now with speed and pressure. He's cutting off the ring nicely, but he's not jabbing his way in. Oh, work out. Hamstring, work out, guy. Work out.
Has Cole Antonio landed a good punch yet?
No, and he hasn't really set his feet to punch either. And that's what Edwards is having issues with right now, just the fact that he won't sit down and fight. And whenever you got guys like that, you gotta put them in position to fight, and you jab your way in, start landing to the body. The body's going to move as much as everything else. So dig at them ribs.
Oh, he sat down on that punch. But Edwards,
there we go. See that jab he's stabbing down there? Whenever you have a fighter with a flabby belly like that, just keep poking him down there because there's no muscle. He'll feel that. There you go. See how he doesn't like those shots. Simple jabs like that will break down Colantonio's guard.
Good stiff jab there from the Rocket as he switched stances for a moment.
Looking to throw for it. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Got to give the defense credit on that.
Oh, sick. Colantonio just make the time.
Yeah, Edwards is telegraphing that right hand. He's putting way too much power behind it. He should be focusing on speed right now. Jabs, breaking him down to the body, and then that right hand will develop by itself.
You mentioned the footwork that Usda has used to derail a lot of bigger fighters. Not that Edwards is Usda, but he can also switch from both stances. He moves his feet so well. He's got plenty of pop. He just needs seasoning, don't you?
Bring up Usyk's name.
You bring up Usyk's name.
But I'm talking about him.
You just talked about Usyk's footwork causing bigger guys problems and how good Edwards' footwork is. I was building on a point you were trying to make.
Because Usyk has brilliant footwork. I mean, what we're seeing from Colantonio right now is not brilliant footwork.
No, I'm talking about Edwards.
Oh, Edwards needs to develop his lower body.
You think I was comparing Colantonio to Usyk? I mean, they both have body hair. That's about it.
See, right now, look, Edwards, there's no jab, right? So whenever you have a guy that's moving around like that, you need to force him to slow down by aiming at the chest with the jab, aiming at the torso, the belly, and backing him up.
Looking for a gap. It's more. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
Well, you do have to.
After having a nice game like that on first down, the offensive coordinator here may be thinking about being aggressive and taking a shot. Because even if it's incomplete on second down, on third, you won't have that long to go.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
We talk about quarterbacks having to make quick decisions, and I think you saw it on that play. Nobody opened downfield, he just decided to take off.
Out of the shotgun, they go to rounds. Really good job by everybody there. Well played.
Round three.
First down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Trojans pounded the
round three.
Now back to work.
No one has lasted more than 3 rounds with Joshua Edwards. Could Brandon Colantonio be the man to do it?
Nice right hand right there to the belly by Edwards. You can see now that he's bending his body, he's making himself smaller to actually do what he needs to do to break down a fighter that won't stand in front of you, and that's dick to the body.
Speed up that process any way you can.
He's brought down at the 6 with the defense feeling.
Well, Colantonio's moved around pretty well, the ring. I mean, that's what you do against a fighter like Edwards, right?
Yeah, he's moving laterally, moving around the ring, staying in the perimeter, but you know, I really think that Edwards is not closing that distance, and he's allowing Colantonio to use the entire ring because there's no jab behind that. So right here, you should be doubling and tripling the jab, backing him up to the ropes, and then you can launch your power shots if you're Edwards.
The Canadian heavyweight Colantonio trying to flash the American prospect party
and become the first man to go the distance.
Yeah, that would be quite the feather in his cap.
And he makes
his mullet.
Back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback.
This is part of the growing process for Edwards. He's got to be able to figure these guys out, right?
You would think that he would know this, being an Olympian and having Ronnie Shields in your corner. You know, using your jab to cut the distance, to break the range, to land that right hand, and to hide that right hand behind long jabs. But if you're just following your opponent and loading up on one shot, you know, Colantonio's cagey enough to roll that shot off, take the power away from it.
Edwards takes pride on the fact that no one survived going into the ring with him. Wants to keep that knockout streak going. He has that calm, composed demeanor.
Got to be clutch, right? Got to be balanced and got to find those moments where you can thrive. It's always a system, it seems like, at Notre Dame.
Wants to stay busy. I mentioned 5 fights last year. Would love just as many this year, if not more. 25 years old. And Sergio, you look across the heavyweight landscape, it seems like in that division, the older you get, the better you get. I mean, look at the ages of Fury and Usyk and all the other top guys. Good luck there to punctuate that combination.
Yeah, those are special guys that do that. But right now, this is a dream match sport. The heavyweights, if you got power, the heavyweights can actually, fight until the 30s. But Edwards, this is the time at 25 years old to be knocking out everybody they put in front of him because you got the power.
That split the guard of Colantonio. So for the first time as a pro, Joshua Edwards will go into the fourth round.
They'll keep it on the ground. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can't pick up the first without scoring. They'll try to get it through the air.
It is official. April 4th, Derek Chisora will face former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder and will be his 50th professional bout. Not one to be missed live on DAZN from the O2 Arena in London, April the 4th. What happens in that one, Sergio?
I'm going to favor Warren Chisora. He's on a roll. I love the fact that he's gaining confidence, and hopefully it's his farewell fight, knocking out the Browns bomber. And if he can do that across the pond, that's the way he say farewell to his sport.
He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick its way to the end zone.
Nice right hand. You can see Antonio doesn't like those shots down to the belly. Keep doing that if you're Edwards, but keep popping that jab in his face. Keep that stick in the face of Colantonio.
So how serious should Joshua Edwards get now into pushing this guy and getting the stoppage?
I think he's playing this move. I really think Edwards, was enjoying himself. He's waiting a little bit too long to set up that right hand, and I think he might be a little frustrated with the movement of Colantonio as well. Because Colantonio is not exchanging. He's not trying to win rounds. He's trying to get
getting different players involved. Really nice job, very poised in that play call, and it showed up with the touchdown.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out.
Edwards has 3 first-round KOs, a second-round KO, and a third-round KO. Is he about to get his first?
No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half.
It's in the cards here, Sergio.
Not if you're not going to set it up. Right now, he tried something different. Instead of landing a 1-2, he came in with a 2-1. He worked that whole thing, but he wasn't right on the money. With the 1-2 shot
to make that catch.
I don't blame the quarterback for taking that shot either, man. He's cooked up with this guy twice today for scores. Give him another
combinations in his arsenal, but he's not letting him go here because he's having issues tracking down Colantonio's movement.
It's McCown.
If you can't track down an older, slow fighter like this with jabs, it's not a good enough moving forward.
Because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David. Week in, week out. He shows up and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football.
He got farther than I thought he was going to get, and
he's got 200
he hasn't really been hit.
They'll snap it from the 39. First and 10.
With the shots, and he's taking the power off them.
There's never been seen before. Just one defeat. 7 wins, 5 coming by KO.
Take some of these, but if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
He's going to
back to pass. Got it in the middle. It's Johnson. And this defense's head is spinning. He gets it down to the 27.
It feels like everything this play caller has called has worked so far in this first half of the offense. They generated a really nice lead, lighting up the scoreboard, and they're staying aggressive. They're throwing the football. They're dictating everything right now.
Because every time Edwards does throw a right hand, Antonio comes right back to something.
They'll leave it with him. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
No doubt, offense wants to keep running the football to win this game, but I'm wondering if they're starting to go to the well too often. They got to start showing some new emphasis here in the second.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
And the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to be in shape, chasing him around all day on design runs, on scrambles, and, you know, it's just, and the +1 advantage you get by having that guy. It's just, it's so hard to defend.
Pocket breaking down. And you hoist it to the house. Touchdown, USC.
Man, that's the way you execute our offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas, try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executes.
Glancing right hand thrown by Colantonio. You can see when he unleashed that right hand, he was already expecting to get hit with something. That's a man that
sometimes you gotta roll the dice in Las Vegas every once in a while, don't you?
But you gotta roll the dice with confidence. Not with a grimace on your face before you leave.
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all first half.
Joshua Edwards.
They had insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel.
From Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
They've got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
And the extra point was
Antonio in his athletic
down on the play
right now at the age of 29.
Let him be checked out. The returner will field it and bring it back. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down.
Antonio's the guy you go buy a pizza from.
Here come the Irish. Back
He
on
was
offense.
ninja.
So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their
Heavier
favor.
version of Chris
Damn
Mannix by the
right.
pool.
There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're
Elmer's
going
blue
to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be
Joshua
aggressive.
Edwards.
This is a great opportunity.
Still want to see a little bit more from him. I mean, he's
try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Grabs in the middle. It's hurled.
And slinging that shot.
Down, but there's a flag on the play.
Colantonio's
Stand.
arsenal. He's going to throw in Edwards first time. Edwards needs to be inside. You know, he's so calm and cool in the ring.
Look, you want to make
It looks like he's almost not really even trying.
Pressure in his face. That was so close, but
I
just
want
a
to say
tad
I'm
late.
more impressed with Colantonio than I am with Edwards based on what you expected to
You
see.
want to be physical with the quarterback, but you can't give up those roughing the passer
You
penalties.
shouldn't be
It's
struggling
first
with a
and 10.
fighter like Colantonio. You should know how to break down fighters like this, make him slow
Trying to set
down
up the screen.
movement. Especially when you're Olympian, especially when you
He's
got
into
power.
enemy territory and out of bounds at the 47.
Just roll for Edwards to
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous, you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
He's brought
get
down
to a
at the
decision. It's going to take a little bit of a
41-yard line to pick
shine
up a
of
5 and enough for a first down.
undefeated 5-0-5 knockout from Joshua Edwards. Just sits it in. He's taking
Off the
5
play
steps
fake
forward.
on
Now this will be
first
one
down.
step back. It's a little bit, yeah. It's still time.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Backed up now. Here's second and long.
It's a smart Edwards.
Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the
So
half.
Joshua Edwards will look this
Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with a turnover. Taking it the other way. And they come up with a big play to make sure no more points go on the board before the end of the half.
I'll tell you something, in college football, you're lucky if you get 2 interceptions in a season. This guy now has 2 interceptions. In the first half of this game, he's been reading the quarterback's eyes, and he has been everywhere, an absolute ball hawk.
Going deep. Makes the grab inside the 30. They'll immediately call timeout. And in the closing moments of the first half, they'll try to put a 3 spot on the board. And he'll need a little distance and defend it just right. A 41-yarder from the left hash. No good. After the missed field goal, hey, could be worse. They're still up by 21. That's going to wrap up the first half here. And now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, the George Shillelagh on the line, and already USC Notre Dame has given us some impressive moments. These quarterbacks have been wheeling and dealing.
He should be
a little bit of everything through 2 quarters. Exactly what we expected all week, if not even exceeding those lofty expectations. feels like the defense that can at least contain one of these dual threats is going to be celebrating a hard-fought victory, although easier said than done.
And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground.
Well, if he's going to
has the ball and ready to get moving.
you better limit that jab, because he hasn't been around. The jab, he's been throwing it, flicking it, but not to
First
land.
start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half.
There of
It
Edwards.
starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get
lands on
something going
Edwards. Not a good
here on this drive.
What are you going to do if Cole Antonio knocks out Edwards in the sixth
Going
round?
to be even more aggressive on fourth down. Because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
They were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game. That did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
On third and short, the power run here. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a third down stop. The Irish send out the punt unit.
Looks like he's slowing
This will
down.
be the second time they've had to kick it
He's
away.
uninterested. And he's not motivated.
He will not make a fair catch. Field the punt and bring it back. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work.
But this one, to Cole Antonio's
Holds and fires complete to the right. There he goes. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. It's first and 10 from the 38-yard line.
With the background that Joshua Edwards comes from,
Looking for a physical attack from the gun.
with a great training in your corner, you should be able to figure out.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
The run to the left. Here it is trying to flex the muscle. They get him down at the 34 after a pickup of 4.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical and they're trying to stay on the field.
From the gun, running back on the move. Picks up the first down, still moving. And he was able to run through a tackle. And they finally get him, but not until he picks up the first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing for the defense. You haven't been able to stop this guy all game long. And you're on third down.
Hurling today at the Olympics, but right behind that.
I think you can stop it. This defense right now, you see a lot of people hanging
Joshua
their heads.
Edwards, I'm going to shake that man's hand afterward to get an autograph. I'm going to get one of those shirts. I'm going to wear it proudly rolling dice tonight. Team Cole Antonio, baby. I love it. I wish Chris Maddox could do the interview with him.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on first down. You're starting like that. Now what opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
Operating in the red zone here on
First
second
event
down.
on his WBA junior welterweight title against Andy. See that the rest of the ring, high stakes, send it to zone.com.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
Jazz, being able to throw and triple your way in, aiming at the chest. More body shots.
That's how you come up and make
Body
plays as a
movement, because he was
defense,
getting
man.
hit with
Playing
right
physical,
hands.
playing
By a
downhill.
fighter like
They
Cole
give him some
Antonio,
plays
you don't
there.
want to get hit with
He's got over
something
100 yards on the
big
day.
of
He's
his
really
right
had
hand.
some success, but on that play, really downhill, really physical.
Did
And nice
Cole
job getting it to
Antonio
the ground.
win a round?
Got his man.
To find
How
out,
about
the
that
drama
defense
is there.
rising up and stopping him short on fourth down.
Here's Thomas Tribe.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Here come the Irish back on offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. They punted away from deep in their own territory.
And John McCarthy are in agreement They all scored the same. 62-15 score. Presented by unanimous decision.
Big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going.
So he does not win around, but I did appreciate Thomas Schreiber with that dramatic pass.
Too much on it from this big arm sophomore
Hey,
quarterback.
main thing for Joshua Edwards, he's still perfect, Sergio, 6-0.
6-0. He does have 6 knockouts on him. But look, on to the next one. This is the type of guy in San Antonio that could have played the spoiler. He went the distance, but still didn't win any rounds.
Let's hear from Chris Mannix.
That's not quite.
So congratulations, you get the win, you go the distance for the first time in your pro career. How'd you think about that performance?
Punt is in the air on fourth
If I
down.
can't get my guy out of there, then I give myself a low performance. I could have kept my hands busy or ran more combinations.
The
I
solid
got caught
return
late.
there
Most guys running at me.
offsets some of the
So
punt
I
yardage
had to
and
go
really sets up his offense nicely.
You know, like a lot of people saw this matchup and thought you might breeze through over the first couple of rounds. What made it so difficult to track him down?
He came to fight tonight. So he came to fight tonight. He came to get the win. But my head limit and my skills was able to make him miss most of the punches, but he actually was trying to hit me with punches.
Still learning in your young career. What do you take away from a fight like this?
This is my corner. Stay busy right from the moment. I don't care about my punches or not. Go right at him.
To get on those defensive linemen, to try
6-0 now as a pro. What are you looking to do in 2026?
squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Congratulations, Josh.
Thanks.
Brandon, we'll turn to you. Thank you fans over here in the crowd.
2nd and 9.
How did you feel about the way you fought tonight?
To go up top.
There's something I could have done better, you know, like
Backfield. It's more.
I wanted to win. I was coming for the win, but he's a tough motherfucker, you know. It's not going to be expected. My third fight in the last
Listen, I know
3
that
months.
wasn't a
Got
huge
2
win.
title
It was
fights.
positive,
Should have
but
been both wins.
I like doing more
I'm
of
just
that
here to
in
prove
today's
out the true
college football.
Canadian
I'm just gonna
champ.
try
You
to
know,
give
I'm
my
here to go to the
playmaking
States. I love how you guys treat me
do
here.
damage in space away from all
Always
the big
down
boys.
to represent the
inside.
Pacific Northwest, and I'm the proud champion of that.
Just across the 20 with a
There's
first
more
down
things to
at the
come.
19.
This is just the start.
Man
I'm going to
down
thank
on
my
the
lovely
play as
wife,
the
Liz.
officials take a
I'm
break
going
to
to thank
let
my
him be
coach,
checked out.
Jason Height, my teammate, Derek Miller, my
And the
promotion, champ
Trojans have it
promotion,
with the first and 10.
And if Golden Boy or anybody wants to have me back, I'm ready to fight. I'm always here. I'm always in shape, and I'll always bring a good fight. Never a doubt. Not like the rest of these Canadians sitting
And there was
doing nothing,
nowhere to
barely
go.
drunk,
Just stopped in his
complete
tracks in the
athlete.
backfield.
The people talking.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way.
Landed
They've
a couple
had
good
so
right
much
hands there
success and
in
so
the last
much
couple of rounds.
production,
Think you had
but
it
listen, at least the defense
I think
got
if it
a
was a
rep.
12,
You know, maybe this gets you some a
this
spark.
game,
Maybe this gets you some
but if it was a
energy.
12-round
Maybe
fight,
we'll
it's a
see a
different
little bit
story.
more
The
life
round
from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to
Appreciate
find
it,
things to
Thank
build
you.
off of. And maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently.
That's Chris Mannix's song off.
I love that interview. Just interview the winner. It's nice to hear from the B side, so to speak. And I love how he threw all the rest of Canada under the bus. He said,
With the run on first and goal.
See this
That
man
is a
again.
big win for this
Right, so
defense.
Joshua
They were
Edwards.
right there as soon as he
his
got
first
the ball.
time ever going the
So on
distance.
offense, you've got to find a way to put
Taking
something on
on
the board.
the
You know that in
real
this
life
game, field
rookie.
goals may not get it done. So big-time players make big
Did he
plays
lose
in big games.
confidence?
Who
I
do
mean,
you
the
rely
entire
on
time,
right
San
now to
Antonio was
get you
trying
a
to set up
touchdown?
that right hand. Even when he was getting hit with some big shot.
And
Chase with a
they
big
take
shot.
it in for
A
6
big
more
one, puncher in
points.
hand with San Antonio Browns.
Traveler and the entire Trojan Nation starting to feel their oats as SC has built a lead in this one.
I'm impressed too with the Trojans in this one. They've got a lot of competition in conference week in, week out. You don't get a break when
Nice
you go
little
out of
chopping right
conference
hand by
and play Notre Dame.
Antonio,
But
but
mentally,
afterwards,
they've had a lot left in the tank. They are dominating Notre Dame.
Right hand, and
And
that's
it's so fun to
took
watch
advantage
you
of that.
after your great
And went the
uniforms,
distance.
great football. This
So Joshua
matchup,
Edwards now
Jules
6-0
every
with
single
5
week is always
knockouts.
fun
Plenty
to
more
watch.
to the fence tonight. And there's a whole range of programming to watch on DAZN.
At all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around.
Official show a record.
They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Like Coppinger. Honor Ben and Andy Coppinger here with the heavyweight champion.
Very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work.
So you got a nice left hook, but I felt your hook. I can take that. Former heavyweight contender and world-class trainer.
On the run, it starts.
We go in the
Nice move to pick
with
up
Malik
yardage.
Scott. Canelo missed every call. Nick Haney's left hand is down under his hip, touching his knee, and it goes straight up. The Mexican is in the building.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, champ. Virtual teams coming up.
Thanks for having me. Basically, you're not the toughest matchup for me. I didn't say that. Hey, I just
I watch you. I get the feeling like I'm watching history.
He's doing a nice job reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why
you enjoy Max Kellerman, Mike Coppinger, and the very controversial Shady McCoy for Inside the Ring. A new episode drop every single Monday. Just head to the locker room section of the DAZN platform, where you also find Unwrapped, it's our weekly review of the best moments for on DAZN. And next week, you can relive all the unseen action from tonight in Raw as we take a look behind the scenes at high stakes for the definitive last word on Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia. Loads of you are liking that show, and loads of you are liking Inside the Ring as well. Mike Coppinger is your baby. Obviously, I say controversial, Shady McCoy. He is controversial, isn't he?
He is, for sure. Yes. He's an amazing football player, and with American football, you call it. But he knows he's boxing, you know, he has a good for his love Shady, but Shady's looking for you here on a.
I'm ready to... So I gotta find a show on the show going toe to toe with Mr. Shady McCoy. He always seems to have a go at the Brits. That's why I want to go on the show, because I always feel like he's British a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we need to get you guys squaring up in Los Angeles.
I don't know about that. He's a big boy.
We have an injury on that.
What have you got coming on this Monday show?
Obviously, we're going to recap the great card we have here tonight in Las Vegas, Friday, and then we're going to look ahead to Emmanuel Navarrete and Sugar Nunez. That's going to be on DAZN a week from today. Can't wait for that fight. So we're going to have O'Shea Foster on the show to preview that fight. He could be looking at unification, and we're going to have Hamza Shiraz, super middleweight contender, on the show.
Yeah, I love Hamza Shiraz. Obviously, we were both there for that ring card in Queens where he put on, I thought, a clinic against Edgar Berlanga. And the 168-pound division is almost open. Crawford's gone, Canelo will come back in September, but the belts are there for anyone to grab. Hamza Shiraz could be picking up a nice, soon, shiny gold belt.
Yeah, he could be. You know, he has a great personality, great look. I think he has a big future in the sport. Love Christian Big, of course. So, yeah, 168 is loaded right now.
Yeah, can we quickly just talk about what we saw just behind us a few months ago? Joshua Edwards, 5-0. We laughed because we expected a bit more from Joshua Edwards. Obviously, look, Olympian. We know he's got the talent and the skill set. I think he was unlucky, or at least Antonio was unlucky. That man there, not like Rocky, mustn't nick around.
Get him on the ground.
Just give him to Joshua, but give him a round. What did you make of Edwards' performance?
You know, I think Edwards, he has a lot to work on. Obviously, he's a young, developing prospect. I think what Maddox said was spot on. He's not going to fight anybody that's going to really test him anytime soon. And that's not a knock on him. That's okay, right? Build and develop heavyweights. Heavyweights are probably the toughest fighters to develop in boxing.
Yeah, and this is what you get, though, right? I mean, again, muscles don't win fights, but we all kind of had a little smirk when we saw Antonio at the weigh-ins. He's gritty, he's tough, he's ready to fight, he's got an engine as well. He doesn't like he was slowing down. These are good rounds for Joshua Edwards.
No question. Hey, look, if I'm a matchmaker, I'm using Antonio again and again against his kind of prospects. That interview was probably the highlight of the very short night so far.
Yeah, I'm using Antonio at every single press conference. That's what I'm using for, because he was fantastic. He had the thing at Canadians, which I don't think is going to go well when he goes back to Canada. But again, he's the type of guy that you want to put in with prospects, because you know he's not going to fall down easily. He's going to take a punch, and he can throw his right hand as well as he did in that fight.
Yeah, you know, these prospects need to be
starting off this quarter,
close enough, right? Step them up steadily, a little bit more here. Maybe you have a southpaw here. You have a guy that can move. You have a thrower. They need to spice all kinds of different styles. So when they do step up, they pass flying colors.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's look at our next fight. We've got Muhammad Alakal coming up next, and I always feel there's been a lot of pressure on young Muhammad Alakal. Obviously, he's been flying the flag for Riyadh and flying the flag for what they're trying to do in terms of growing the sport over there. He's now with Abel Sanchez, which won't be easy. We know what Abel Sanchez does when he takes fighters to Big Bear. You are running up mountains and cliffs. He's looking really strong with Alakal.
He is, absolutely. I think he's developing steadily. And if you're a fighter and you don't like to work, you do not want to train with Abel Sanchez. Like you said, I mean, strength and conditioning. These guys are in the best shape. We saw what he did with Gennady Golovkin, turning into a monster puncher. And look, it is His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh's dream to have crowned a first world champion from Saudi Arabia. So there's two Saudi fighters right now with Abel Sanchez, and Sultan Al Muhammad.
Yeah, David Calabro is an interesting pick. Obviously, look, he gets that phone call. He's like, absolutely, I'll take that shot regardless of it. One thing you can see just from these images here, he's a lot smaller. He can box, he's more experienced.
He'll be looking at Alakal like, let me get him now because he's clean. Let me get him now while we're still trying to learn what Abel Sanchez is trying to teach him.
Yeah, and this is a good time to probably get Alakal if you're looking to spring an upset. You know, like you said, a trainer has to really instill, he needs a couple of fights to instill the strategy, the style. And what I like about Alakal is look at the incredible opportunities that this kid is getting. You know, fighting on these major cards, fighting in a stadium here in Vegas underneath Canelo Crawford. So when he does step up, he's going to be ready under those lights.
I want to know what happens when Muhammad Alakal goes to York Hall on the ring, because he always seems to fight in these big arenas, but look, very good experience for him. Remember, that is the last fight, and will be the last fight of the prelim. Scan the QR code you see on the screen now to buy the pay-per-view. You don't want to miss it. Fantastic card, well done fights, including the main one as well. We are talking Ryan Garcia bidding to become a world champion as he takes on Mario Barris. And why haven't you bought the Ultimate? It seems to make so much sense. The Ultimate minimum of 12 pay-per-views per year, plus 185 fight nights a year as well. It just seems to be, I think, the best deal in town. Who doesn't it outside? By the way, I can tell you, it's good to be in Vegas for the big run. And let's throw it down to Todd to get this show on the road with the talent tape for this one.
Getting stops like what they just did.
Fight of the night, Fitz man from Austin, Pennsylvania, against Muhammad Alakal from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Alakal just 21 years old, 5'9", 5 inches taller than Calabro, who's 5'4", 27 years old.
Focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time. Offensively, the defense coming up with a huge negative play.
All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He's brought down the one to play for this offense.
David Calabro coming off his first professional loss, and he was stopped in the third round by Keith Colon. That was in October. And now jumping right back into another fight against Muhammad Alakal. What's Calabro's best path to victory against the taller fighter?
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out.
Second down, progress. Even though he is a good 1-2 puncher, he's getting better every single fight. He's still learning on the job. So I think Calabro has a pretty good right hand to slow down the pace, frustrate Alakal, and move the shots over the top.
Week 13 victory.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me, or I should get conserved, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day. And apparently, their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
I think it's safe to say Muhammad Alakal has the brightest future of the young Saudis we've been able to cover here on DAZN, especially after Ziad Zizo lost for the first time to Kevin Castillo at MSG last month.
And it's no coincidence why he's developing, because he's training the mountains of Big Bear with a world-renowned trainer in Abel Sanchez, who's teaching him and preparing him for the tough fights. Probably getting better sparring and better preparation, and that's why he's learning a lot faster.
Really nice job by quarterback and wide receiver. This is why you do film work. This is why you throw on air all offseason. I know I get zone coverage. I know exactly where I'm breaking. I know exactly where to deliver the football. Nice throw,
in the
nice
super featherweight division, brought to you by Ring Magazine, Cello, and Amsterdam Hornets will be working in association with TGB Promotions. Along with their great sponsors, Thomas J. Henry Law Firm, Everlast, and IFX Payments. The judges are
Not much running room
Herman
there
Bayless,
thanks to this senior
Glenn
defender.
Feldman, and
The Irish will
Corey
need to move the
Santos.
sticks on 3rd and
The
long to
referee in
keep this
charge
drive going.
will be Chris Flores.
Gets the back moving. He wants to throw it again.
Introducing
He puts
first
a lot
fighting
of air
on
under
the
it down the
red
sideline.
He comes to the ring white with red and green, and lead it officially at 128
Lining
pounds.
up to punt it away. They've been busy out there to punt for the
Pennsylvania,
5th time today.
USA.
Yet
He brings a
another
professional
punt along
record
the way. Gotta
of
make sure that hamstring stays loose.
just
He's been
one
busy.
to beat three.
Get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at 23.
Knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please
Guys,
welcome
USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. What a good mix of plays, keeping that defense off balance last time, David.
And Reese, they don't know if it's run or if it's pass. They got it right where they want. This defense doesn't know how to react.
He wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 131.5 pounds.
The play action, it sets up the RPO game, and then you keep this defense guessing.
He breaks an undefeated record with 7 wins, 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
You've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Now it's a first down from the 43-yard line. What a tackle in the backfield. He'll lose 6 on the play. The Trojans trying to find their way forward after the big
Okay, gentlemen, we're in instructions in the dressing room. I expect you when you fight. These fronts over here, those are on the hips, so I want you to stay away from the belt line, okay? These are a little high. Can't see the belly button, so you get to work the belt line, okay?
Let's talk for just a second here about USC. A nice way to go into the postseason and eventually the offseason with a W, but the question
5 wins, only 1 defeat, but coming off his first professional loss, trying to bounce back against Muhammad Al-Akal, who's become the face of Saudi Arabian boxing. Look at his fixed. He brings in a 7-0 record.
Some defensive backs just have
Chris
a way of
Mannix,
finding
Todd
the
Grisham, and
football.
Sergio
He's
Mora
starting to
ringside.
develop that. His 3rd interception on the season, just has a good feel.
Chris, nice interview, by the way, with Cole Antonio.
I am a Cole Antonio stan. I'm here for him. I just said to Eric Gomez over at Golden Boy, bring him back. I don't have any more heavyweights in your stable, but I want to see Chris Antonio back.
Short completion last play. Let's see if they throw it again.
He jabbed there from Al-Akal. And when you're the taller fighter, that's the money punch. Keep the little guy away.
And this is what he's going to need against Calabro. This is a twitchy, jerky type fighter, but he does have bad balance, so keep pushing him back with that jab, that snappy jab, and never let him break that range.
Yeah, what I'm looking for from Al-Akal is more muscle on his punch, more oomph on his punches. He's a pretty skilled guy, probably the most skilled of all these fighters that have come out of Saudi Arabia. He's been working with Abel Sanchez for a few fights. And we know Abel Sanchez, what he teaches, working with Gennady Golovkin, Terry Norris, Sergey Kovalev. He teaches power. So I want to see him sit down on some of these shots against his opponent like Calabro, who is coming off a knockout loss.
Good body shot there.
Al-Akal probably looks his best in his last fight against Jiaming Lee. Got a decision win, but dropped Lee in that fight and was never in danger of losing it.
And it's pretty obvious there was a big
punches right now.
Screen, and the defense ran right through it. Notre Dame has made this second
Just relax.
much more
And you can see how the snap ends at the very end of that jab. That's what you see with fighters that swing into a hook like that.
Nice pickup on
Look at the redness already on Calabro's face.
Yeah, and staying within yourself if you're Al-Akal. You know you got a little bit of time. You got 6 rounds to bust this guy up with that jab. That's how you
at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down.
And finally, Calabro lets his hands go.
Tommy Trojan rides with a sword on his belt and a jeweled shillelagh at his side after knocking off the Fighting Irish. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollock and Justin Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. And
I don't think Calabro's having a good time right now.
Of EA Sports College Football.
He needs to actually use a lot of foot fakes to get the insight in order to fool the taller fighter and just your shots. But you gotta bait him into that with a lot of speed, a lot of foot fakes, and then jabs to the body. But he's not making it uncomfortable for Al-Akal. He's not jabbing to the guts or the chest. He's not,